Hello, welcome back to Posture Podcast.
Hey, welcome back. First of all, we'd like to say Happy Mother's Day because that's when we are recording this,
hmm
May 10th.
Happy Mother's Day to all moms.
Yes, all moms. Yep. And but when you're the parents of someone like me and Max, I know it's pretty easy, but still, anyways, it doesn't.
Yeah, some of you have to struggle out there, so this is for you.
Yeah. So other than that, today we're not talking about Mother's Day. Sorry. We're talking about traveling. It's a fun idea we had.
So I guess let's start it out really basic. What's your favorite place you've traveled to so far?
I think it's Jamaica. Yeah. I love it when we go there. Very fun, very fun. And what's funny is we sometimes go there and we have some family there, but we never really visit them. We just kind of hang out by ourselves, which is nice, I'll say. But it's always
Yeah. So that sounds fun. The farthest south I've been is Key West. So
yeah. Do you have any favorite adventures? Is that your favorite place to be that you've ever traveled?
I would have to say no. It was great. But my favorite place personally is Colorado.
Okay.
I went there.
What's your favorite adventure?
I went skiing. I mean, I've gone there two ski seasons in a row now. I went for the New Year's, like last year, and then last year I went in the spring, and it's so nice.
Yeah. Is it like just a nice place, or are all the hills and very fun?
Well, part of it is obviously the skiing, but the whole place is like the mountains are really beautiful, and like I stay with my aunt and uncle when I go out there, and they've got a place up in the mountains and in Denver. And Denver itself is really cool. I mean, you get great views of the mountains, but then up in the mountains, it's a whole nother thing, and it's
Really?
great.
That sounds cool.
The craziest part, my uncle, he was up there. He sent me a picture from like a week ago. There's the lake is frozen over. He lives by a lake frozen over, and the ski resorts, which are closed, full of snow.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but the weather we've been having lately, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're also 10,000 feet above sea level.
Yeah, that's true. One of the more fun things that I've done in Jamaica was probably we went Nuba. It's similar to scuba diving, and we wanted to try this one out. And what you do is, it's basically scuba diving. What you do is you're basically attached. So there's a tiny little boat with air on it, and you're attached by a tube. This little tiny, it's not the wheelboat's here, but then there's this little raft thing that you're attached to. And you swim to like 20 feet or so. And I remember I was swimming, and it was actually, and from above it looked really scary because the water was weirdly green and you couldn't see very far. But it was cool. We went down to 20 feet, and one of the crazier things that happened was I was really relaxed at the time because it was cool. But then I was swimming behind my brother, and while we were swimming, his snorkel like kicked the breather out of my mouth. I mean, his flipper kicked it out of my mouth, and I was just like, so luckily though, what happens is it's attached to my vest thing, so I was able to just like grab it and put it back. But the guide that was leading us, he looked at me. He thought it was stupid because he thought I like took it out or something. He thought it was stupid. And he was like, Yeah, he thought I was stupid because I took my thing out. Just
I went when I was in Key West. I was like 7. I don't remember that much. My brother was scuba diving. He was on a scuba trip, and so I got to go snorkeling. There's 2 significant events. So we went one day, and he got to scuba dive, but I was just snorkeling. We went to a place, had a ton of fish, ton of coral. There was a statue of Jesus in the water, and I don't know why, but it was like, 10, probably like 20 feet underwater. It was really shallow,
how big was
and there was, I'd say, arms out like this, probably like 10 feet tall and like 8 feet wide or something.
it? Okay, that's a hefty statue.
Yeah, hefty Jesus. The other thing I remember was there was this other kid who was like my age, who was from Florida somewhere, and we were playing together by the pool, and they were like, "Hey, you've got your snorkel goggles. You should throw those to me across the pool." So, and it'll just land in the water. It'll be great. So I throw them across the pool, 20 feet, and they land on the concrete beside the pool. And the kid is like, it's fine. It's fine. My dad repairs this stuff.
It's like puts tape on it.
And I'm just like, I don't know if their dad repaired it. I haven't seen them since.
Yeah, so I remember we went the other time we went scuba diving, but not in the ocean because you have to have a certain like thingy or whatever.
License?
I guess, yeah. But we didn't have that. So obviously. So what they had us do was this wasn't a thing. It was like a demo. So what they did with you is they just walked around to like kids and they talked to them and talked to the parents. And like an hour later, you'd come back to the pool for a free scuba demo. And we were like, oh, okay. So we strapped you on in the pool. And I remember they had us swim around the pool. And one of the best things was we were swimming and we got to swim by the little bar thing in the pool. Then we went down and I remember this dude, big dude, he was sitting in one of those ring floaties.
Right.
Butt was kind of down into the water. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to swim under him. But I didn't have enough clearance. So as I was swimming, I could feel the top of the tank slowly breaking across his butt. I was like, oh no. And then when I swam away, he looked down. He's like, because it was metal and he thought there was some weird. Oh my God.
So we've got Devin, who's going to be a professional scuba diver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scare people thinking I'm a shark. Just like wait by the Jesus.
Oh, another thing about the Jesus, they put like a wreath or something like around his neck, I think, like a necklace, but made of like coral. And I remember them saying, "Oh, the coral is very dangerous. It's like spicy coral or something. So you have to wear gloves if you want to touch it."
Jesus doesn't care though. He's okay.
Nah, Jesus is good. He's made of stone. So
I remember this one of the cooler things that we did was I got one time when I went there, I got to steer it's called a Hobie cat. It's weird looking. It's called it's called a Hobie cat. And let me draw real quick. Let me just draw real quick. Or maybe I'll try to tell you about it and then I'll show you something. Okay? So a Hobie cat, it's basically a sailboat, and it's a sailboat. And what you got to do is you actually have to You have to use, and what they do with you is they take you once around or twice with a lesson and teach you how to like handle the ropes and how to
Mm-hmm.
steer it and all that. Because you actually have to use ropes and uh, uh, adjust the sail and all this stuff. And what it looks like is it's. I'm gonna see if I can screen share. Um. So I am. So what it does is it's got two what little thingies. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's got thingies. So I'm about to put up a picture, and what we did is, eventually, in the beginning, my dad he took the main lesson, and then he got to do all that stuff, and he learned. But then what happened is later, uh, he taught me how to do it, and then I helped him, and then after I helped him, eventually I got to main steer it, I guess you would say.
A Hobie cat.
Okay. It's not working, so I guess I'll just have to draw for you guys.
Oh, this will be nice.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be really good. Okay. So basically, this Hobie cat, right? So what it does is I don't know how to do this. Okay, so it looks like this. So from an above view, it's got these two thingies right here on either side. Like this. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Like a pontoon?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Like this. Like that. And then so this is where you sit. You sit along this area and all that. Um, and then in the middle, there's this cloth material, not cloth, but like this material in the middle that you use to get across. Uh, from this view, this is the sail. There's like a sail like this, and you have to use these strings and you have to steer it and all that stuff, right? Yep, that's me right there. See, that's me. I'm steering it. Look at that.
You're pretty small, pretty short.
Yeah, yeah, but my arms are long. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got like this, and then you got the water, and then and the thing is, you couldn't steer it in turbulent water. I mean, you could, but it was a lot harder, and we had to avoid other big boats.
No. Uh,
Other bigger boats that would have knocked us down and all that stuff. So it was actually really fun because we got to steer the thing, and it was all around just a really cool experience. Yeah,
nice. I think
that was fun drawing.
the closest I've got to that is either I went to two camps. One was like a sailing camp in Pistaki Bay. It's around here. And it was a camp. Like for most of the day, what you would do is it was like a STEM camp, but related to sailing. And then for the last 2 hours, you would get to sail. And so one time there was like this small boat that you had, could fit like 4 people. So there was an instructor and 3 kids, and you got to help out, which was pretty cool. It would be cooler if you didn't spend the first 4 hours of that day doing math during summer break.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, that would be that. Or when I was in Poland, I took a windsurfing camp, that was pretty cool. Like I remember you had to introduce yourself. So what they did, they gave you a roll of toilet paper. You wrap a bit of toilet paper around your hand like this, and then as you introduced yourself, you would take the toilet paper off. And so I was like, I don't speak Polish that good. They're not going to understand me. So I was like, I don't speak Polish, even though I did. And I knew what they were saying most of the time, but I couldn't like say it. And one of the people there, one of the instructors was actually from Chicago. which was pretty cool.
That's nice.
And the head instructor, I remember, when he was teaching me, he would say, "Put your knee forward." Knife, knee, knife, whatever.
Oh, so that reminds me. So currently, while we're in quarantine, what's happening is um we're doing these Zoom workouts, right, with my gymnastics coach and team. But eventually, what happened was it started evolving, and right now we're at the point where some of the older boys from the Italy team from Italy, they're coming over, and I don't know why this stuck with me, but while we were doing stretches, he always said, "Now pull your foot." I don't know why. He would call it every time he called it a foot, and he goes, "Make sure you point your foot." And he wasn't wrong. I mean, that's what it looks like. Foot.
Food.
So
Nice.
we talked about one of our favorite things. Now I want to ask you, what is one of your least favorite things about traveling, going places?
Packing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I like flying. I like driving. I just don't like packing.
Yeah, packing's annoying. So for me, uh, what's funny is I like flying.
Me too.
I very much like flying. Um, I I'm okay with packing. I don't really care. Waking up early isn't good, but whenever I'm traveling somewhere, when I
I
wake
can
up
deal with it.
early, yeah, I'm always fine. But so for me, it probably have to be driving. I can't stand driving places. I'm okay with it. It just gets my only problem is it's so boring. Like there's unless you're driving somewhere really cool, then but if you're driving to your destination where it's just like the same thing everywhere, I can't stand that. It's the worst.
Yeah. I think the most important thing when you're driving is to have good company. I've road tripped to Colorado. I really like it there, but I've road tripped there a couple times. Always, with like a minivan. And my most fun experience was when I was doing it with my dad, my uncle, and my uncle's two my cousins. And what we did was from our seats, we were like able to, like hang up blankets and pillows and block out like the windows. And we made like a fort and we got to stay up late
That's,
and it was pretty cool. And so we like made it, Nebraska interesting.
I know that's the thing. That's a good point. Like it depends who you're with and what you
Mm-hmm.
can do. Like, but now recently, not recently, but a little while ago, my brother got his license, and my
Uh-oh.
parents were really happy about that because now when we drive places, he's gonna have to drive now. He's gonna have to take a turn driving, and I'm still the only one that doesn't have to drive for an extensive period of time.
Lucky you.
So that's pretty sick. I can just chill in the back.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Normally, I just drive with my family, and that means my mom and dad are doing their own thing, and then I have my brother. He's not bad. He's
But
not bad,
but
hey,
lucky
uh,
me, I have a cousin in our grade, so when I went out there, it was
yeah. So, uh, yeah. Another thing I don't like about driving is, especially when I was younger, not as much, not really anymore, but when I was younger, I always had to pee, and it was the worst.
I
Cause
knew you were gonna say that.
yeah, I know. Cause it was just the worst because most of the time there was no rest stop ahead. I always had to go at the most inconvenient time. So sometimes there'd not even be a rest stop. So what I'd have to do is I'd take my Gatorade bottle, I have to chug it, and then pee in
Mm-hmm.
the Gatorade bottle. But because I chugged the Gatorade, I
Mm-hmm.
have to pee again. Gatorade bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what?
I haven't been that unlucky.
Yeah,
I've been lucky enough that 3 a.m. rest stops in Nebraska are a thing, you know.
I mean,
So
it's nice. That's nice.
yeah, I
But
remember. Yeah.
I feel bad for whoever's like upholding that Nebraska rest stop at 3
Oh,
a.m.
nobody.
Really? There's just nobody
Yeah,
there.
this is what they do. Is they probably have a cleaning guy come around, but it's like in the middle of nowhere. So what happens is like there's a bathroom. There's this like small area where there's like there's like advertisements on those like flyers, and there's like travel maps and stuff, but there's like no shop, no vending machines. It's literally just bathrooms in this like small
And
area,
they're not
so
afraid,
no one has to maintain it.
they're not afraid anybody's gonna steal the maps.
Who cares?
I could use these. Yeah. So I noticed one more thing is bus trips. I can handle bus trips,
Hmm.
field trips and stuff. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But one thing that we used to do on school bus trips, because eventually those get even more boring because you don't have any entertainment with you other than your
Hmm.
friends. So what you gotta do is you come with some creative stuff. I remember this one time, people were being dumb and they were in the back and they were just I don't know how to do it, but not well. But you know what the woe is?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I can't. And then so they were trying to get drivers driving past to do the whoa.
Yes, I
They
remember that.
Yeah, they'd evolved from honking and transfer the whoa. And the funniest thing ever, and because sometimes like the passenger in the car would do it, the driver didn't. One driver did it. I remember. He and they started driving again. But I remember the funniest thing that they did was there was a guy on a motorcycle. Motorcycle. You know the things that like you can't just steer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told him to take his hands off the thing. They wanted him to take his hands off and just, or maybe hold on to the steering wheel. To the
I remember this was a field trip. We saw we were on our way to like Chicago, and we saw someone caught a driver asleep at the wheel on a Tesla in a Tesla. A dude was like sleeping on his way to work and just hoping his car doesn't crash.
He's- no,
Yeah.
yeah. Another thing we used to do is we used to look out for bad drivers. So I think one final thing we used to look out for bad drivers. Uh, we look up the road at cars and we'd say, "Hey guys, look at this one," and there'd be a person that's like on their phone like this, and like, "Oh, look at that." We used to even comment when someone was just driving with one hand. We're like, "What are they doing? One hand? Are you crazy?"
The other hand's
The other, no, yeah, no, yeah. The other hand is
busy. Busy.
busy. I mean, it's impressive because they don't have a third hand for any phone or anything. But
That's that's what you think, but they're not looking at the GPS
look at
on
that
that
school
map.
bus. Okay, no, okay, it's okay. No, no. Okay, okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
So, thank you for listening,
Hmm.
or watching, whatever you're doing. But final thing, I agree. It's whoever you travel with. Who you're traveling with can really make or break any of your travels.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. And with that, thanks for watching, I guess. Like and
Bye.
subscribe. Goodbye.